have to do. No, it's not Power Book 2. It's Raising Kanan, isn't it? Anyway. Anyway, by the way, my name is Versatile, aka the Alkebulan Trust, and name you can trust when it comes to all things reactions. Right now, we're going to react to Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 5 recap. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. I ain't going to try to pause too much because, yeah. So, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it.
With Adobe Express, I can make a social post,
a logo, an invite,
a menu,
a video, a presentation.
Adobe Express helps you easily make content to bring your ideas to life.
Kanan Stark is into a whole lot of bad things. Being his best friend is dangerous business.
He ain't talked about what you did.
I didn't kill nobody.
It never hurts to have partners in crime.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy MarcDark, and I'm back with another video.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button, by the way. Let's go.
If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 4, Episode 5. This is the recap. I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And how did this episode make y'all feel? Was y'all right when it came to the predictions about Famous's character?
Nope, I know I was wrong. And no, because what's the 411? What's the 411? The streets need a body, and it ended up being Famous. No. Because this is what it does not make sense. The reality is, when it comes down to his character in the original Power series, he was in jail. I'm not saying he was the person that Kanan was in jail with playing chess. If you know that scene, you know that scene. I'm not saying that person was Famous. I wasn't saying that. What I'm saying is, in the original Power series, Sean, aka Famous, literally was in jail. So you can't rewrite stories. I know it's, then again, Unique's character, that they had to kind of rewrite his story, and had to refilm and all that stuff there. That's a different situation. But like, if they could do that for Unique, they can do that for Famous. And I know some people are like, he's not really much of a big character with a big deal, but yes, he is. But then I look at it and I'm like, his character, think about it, Kanan's son is named called Sean. So maybe this situation happened to the point where when Kanan had his son, he named him after his friend. Which technically kind of makes sense, which usually happens in real life, where a situation happens and, you know what I mean, they named it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Get me. Let's go.
I mean, some people believe that he was, out in California with his sister. Some people believe that Famous, he was alive the whole time and he was in the OG Power. He was locked up with Kanan. Well, those theories were not true at all. And the whole theory about Kanan being locked up with Famous in the OG Power, I didn't think that was true, because at the time of that scene, of that episode, they didn't even know that they was going to be doing all these spinoffs. So that's the reason I didn't believe that was true.
Irrespective of that, if you look at the situation that's happened throughout certain episodes, you can always refer back to the original Power series, irrespective of that. There's always like a timeline of situation that's happened. But anyway.
But the whole theory about your boy Famous being dropped off was true. And of course, as I told you guys, the footage that we're seeing of Famous, that's all old footage. And it's been like that since the very beginning of the season. The scene that they showed us at the end of the episode, that was from Season 3, Episode 7. And as I was telling you guys, I believe in that first episode of Season 4 when they do show Famous performing on the stage, certain angles you can tell that was somebody else. And then when they show his face, I'm pretty sure that was from season 3, episode 5, all old footage. But I know people was kind of upset because we know Famous, his character, he ain't no snitch. He is loyal. And I know him and Kanan did have issues.
He ain't no snitch. So what's the 411? What's the 411? Him talking about how he finished Freddy. What's the streets of the body? The situation between what's that? What's that? What they go? The situation with, I forgot his name. 2 quarters and 4 dimes. Like, give me F 4 quarters and 2 dimes, or whatever it is. Lyrics is. All I know is the streets need a body. But let's go. They don't really know. What happened to Famous? They don't really know. Now we know. This is terrible. I don't know what's worse. In the Power universe, yeah. I don't know, man. Because there's certain characters you're like, is he innocent? He's innocent. He's not really in the life like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh man. Okay. This, I think also when you think about the context of the show, Raiden and Kanan, obviously it turns Kanan into a monster. Basically.
Issues last season, they still loved each other. You know what I'm saying? That was Kanan's best friend. And there's a reason why Kanan named his son Sean.
Like I said,
you know what I'm saying? So it will be bittersweet not seeing the character Famous, on the show. I know people was kind of upset because they don't like seeing off-screen deaths. But at the end of the day, we don't know all the details about what's really going on and what else they're.
And plus, the way he was, this is what the other thing. We never really saw the body though. We didn't see the face. Yeah, his mom identified his body, but and some people don't want to say the kid running into the store is supposed to be that's little Ghost. That's Ghost when he was a kid. Why are they showing that much screen time? Get out of here. I mean, you could be right, but get out of here.
They're going to show. Now, sometimes stuff do happen behind the scenes. And when you're making a TV show, you have to make the decision on what you want to do as far as certain characters. And when it comes to Famous's character, I know it was probably difficult to figure out what they were going to do. But at the end of the day, regardless of what they've done, you're going to have people that's going to be happy about it. You're going to have people that's not going to be happy about it. It's always going to be somebody complaining about something. I mean, you could never get it right. But at the end of the day, the fans, they will continue to be invested. And if you don't like it, if it's that bad, I guess you can just stop watching.
Facts.
But guess what? You're not. You're going to keep watching. You want to know exactly what went down. You want to know the full story. And that's what I say. Just wait to see how it all plays out to get the full story. And then you can make a proper judgment on how you feel about everything that went down. But in this episode, we did see a lot. I mean, the whole Famous thing was big. Marvin, his mom's, that was crazy. I mean, you want your son to take you out? Yeah, hell nah. Ain't no way I'm doing that. But
that scene was emotional. I can't even lie. It was emotional still. You know what I mean? It was emotional. It's like we know Marvin, Uncle Starvin Marvin. We know he's a hitman, but like to take out his own moms, nah. The euthanasia stuff, nah. He's not gonna do it, irrespective of how they feel about their mom. You know what I mean?
Of course, in this episode, we had your boy Unique plotting and planning. He made some moves. I mean, the whole thing with Quan, it will be very big. The whole thing with Phil Russo, it will be big as well, as long as Unique does not mess it up. But he has to prove himself first. And the whole thing with OC, we already knew what time it was. He could not be trusted. But let's begin this recap. What did we see in episode 5 titled The Nail That Sticks Up? Now, the episode starts out with the backstory of Famous, young Famous at that, his mom's, Jessica. And this is a domestic violence storyline. Your boy Famous is getting hit by this Luis character. And his mom's ain't having it. She's trying to defend him. Jessica trying to get him up out of there. Next thing we know, they all end up leaving. But young Famous goes back to grab his toy. And this is where Luis grabs him. And then Moms has to come back in. and stabbed that boy. I mean, he was doing entirely too much anyway.
Facts.
Hitting on a kid, hitting on the moms. I mean, come on. Now they end up going to a homeless shelter, and of course they feel like they've hit rock bottom. Moms is very stressed out, don't know what she's going to do, but they're together, they're safe. It's better to be there instead of being around that sicko. And then we get to Detective Garcia. He's having a conversation with Famous's moms, talking about it's a warrant out for his arrest, and it ain't looking too good. It seemed like he just ran, right?
That's why I thought,
and he's telling her,
this is why I thought he has to be, like, if you think about the timeline, this is why I was thinking either Kanan was hiding him, either he went on the run, but then obviously, you know, eventually he got caught, and then they arrested him and he went jail, like, for a long time. That's what I was thinking. That, but then I forget, this is TV. In the TV world, some things that's supposed to be realistic are unrealistic, but at the same time, it's still realistic because you don't know if it was retaliation, or you don't know if Ronnie was the one that, do you know what I mean, laid him out on the mattress, you know what I'm saying, or underneath the mattress. If you know, if you've seen the scene, you've seen the scene. But anyway, keep moving. Let's go.
if anything happened to him, maybe you need to look into his best friend, Kanan. But moms don't believe that. She's like, there's no way in the hell that Kanan did anything to his best friend. They've been knowing each other since kindergarten. But Detective Garcia does not want to hear that at all, telling her, like, look, oldest friends have the deepest scars. So now she don't know what to think. She's like, man, maybe Kanan did have something to do with this. I need to talk to him. Now we get to Rock and Marvin. They're talking about how Terry is screwing them over. We know he has not shipped off that shipment, and it ain't looking too good right now for the organization. Now, Rock does tell Marvin that Andre is up out of here, and he's kind of upset because we know, Andre, Scootball Sr. has got the family out of a lot of mess. Now we get to OC and Kanan, and once again, OC is talking about he does not know who robbed him or whatever, putting hints out there that he knows exactly who did it, which we know is your boy Unique, and that he is taxing this man OC. Got that boy shaky. Now, OC does ask Kanan about why he's taking money off the top. Rock eventually is going to ask about what's really going on, and Kanan tells him, you don't worry about that. That's my business. So we know OC, all he's doing is collecting information, because all he's going to do is go back and tell Unique what time it is. He's going to tell him exactly how the operation is going and what issues that Rock and Kanan are having. Now we get to Jukebox and Mara.
I can't wait for Kanan to find out about OC. I literally can't wait. I cannot wait.
Talking about what happened to Aaron. He is up out of here. Mara wanted to know if Jukebox had anything to do with it, and Jukebox was kind of offended, like, really? I would not do that. Now we know Mara gave Jukebox that address, so this is why she asked her this question. Now Jukebox does tell her, like, look, I asked you about the address because if he grabbed you up, I wanted to be there to help you out. I needed to know exactly where you were. Now Jukebox does learn that the cops are saying that this was a robbery. So as of right now, it does not seem like it's going to be a big investigation. Maybe that would change down the line. But Mara was happy, talking about she got the best sleep ever or whatever. She's good. She, used to wish he was up out of here. Well, he is. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely up out of here. So you should be good. Jukebox happy. You happy. So hopefully there's no more issues. Now we get to your boy Unique, and once again he goes to Pernissa's spot, and he's putting in the envelope of money. And we know by the end of the episode, Pernissa, she will question Rock about this, thinking that she's the one that's doing it. Now,
that scene is really funny, yeah, because it's like, where did she think the money was coming from? And why did she not try to be on the lookout to see who's putting the money in the mailbox like that? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if you've seen it once, you're like, all right, cool. Don't know who's doing it. You don't know the first time. Second time, you're like, oh, I got to look out for who this person is. I know Ring doorbell didn't exist in that era, so cool, whatever. You can still be in your house and just peep through. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Let's go.
Now, we get to Marvin and Jukebox. He wants to have the conversation with her about her catching her first body. Jukebox is not showing that much emotion, telling him that Mara, she's happy that the dude was up out of here and that it was going to be him or you. So she did what she had to do. Marvin is believing it's because of the army that Jukebox is so comfortable with dropping somebody off, but Jukebox has to tell him, no, it ain't the army. And we know what time it is. It's because of this lifestyle, the family, the things that she's seen. She's accustomed to this. So now she's embracing it and she seemed really happy.
Nah, she legit was really happy. Remember, she ended up being worse than Kanan. That says something. Plus, at the end of the day, yeah, if you think about the whole situation with Unique, sorry, not Unique, Jukebox situation, like, how do I put it? It's like, I know that in the previous reaction I did, yeah, to the previous episode 4, like, or season 4, I was saying this is the villain, the villain origin story. This is when it happened. But now, with this episode, yeah, she really turned into a villain. Plus, at the end of the day, what I was gonna say, she really is her father's daughter. That's what I was gonna say. She is her father's daughter. Like I said at the beginning of this reaction, I said, you know what I mean? Uncle Starvin Marvin is a hitman. Do you know what I mean? So she is her father's daughter. She literally did what would needed to be done, unfortunately. You know what I mean? We don't condone violence. This is just a TV show. Do you know what I mean? You get me? But like, she did what she needed to do, and it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? But the fact that she's showing no emotion, like, even here, it's funny, yeah, because she looks like, the casting's so great. She looks like the person who played Jukebox in the original Power series. We know Kanan looks like 50. Mackay Curtis, is that his name? Which is funny because, hold on. You know when you realize certain coincidences? Hold on. Let me see. Okay, I'll spell his name right. Yeah, Mackay Curtis plays 50 Cent. 50 Cent's real name was Kurt. That's insane. And he actually genuinely looked like he could be 50 Cent's son. I really wish that 50 Cent's son, the oldest son, didn't have to do what he did, because he could have been acting as well and he could have played this role, or like, do you know what I mean? You should never know, man, but it is what it is. Anyway.
This new Jukebox that we're about to see for the rest of the season is going to be a very interesting character to see. Her development is very good. Now, we get to your boy Kanan, and he goes to this storage unit. Now,
this is what
I know in the episode 5...
This is why it looked as though Famous was going to be there, but...
trailer, a lot of fans was talking about maybe he got Famous up in there. Maybe he's hiding him.
Yeah.
Well, that theory was not true. Your boy Kanan is hiding his money. This is all the money that he is taking off the top, and hopefully no one knows that he is going there. But I would not be surprised if somebody follows Kanan or whatever and they end up robbing him, like his boy OC. You just never know what's going to happen with these new characters. Now we get to Lulu and Imani. He's hanging out with her because
this group here, yeah, oh, hey, listen, the music on the show is elite, because these guys, I promise you, they remind me of Wu-Tang. I promise you. They remind their flow, even the way they dress, this Wu-Tang. What year did Wu-Tang come out? 1993. You know what I'm saying? So, because
they're looking for new artists. And to be honest, he's feeling her. He's like, man, so you actually know how to do your job. And we get to see the group, the Draw Down Disciples. We saw some other people as well. We see your boy DNA has returned once again for...
You cannot tell me there are not... like I said in what episode was it? Was it episode 3 or season 4? I said there was a scene between Okolulu and B-Rilla and the record executive. I was trying to say that's reminiscent of Tupac and Jimmy Iovine. And ironically, I reacted another day that Jimmy Iovine and Tupac had issues. You know what I mean? They had issues. Like it's evident. You know what I mean? It's not evident, but I could see it. You know what I mean? Because if he wasn't ready to bail him out, you know what I mean? Like obviously there's issues.
And for another episode, and Lulu was thinking about signing these guys. Now I want to know what happened to the whole B-Rilla character. Hopefully we see him in the next episode because I believe he will have a major impact on Lulu's storyline. Now we get to David, and David, we talked about this in that exclusive clip breakdown. He doing entirely too much. Marvin had to slap the taste out of his mouth. They pissed off because this shipment has not been shipped out yet. Terry's still acting scary out here, and it's the reason why they're not moving no product.
Oh yeah, by the way, that the disciples group, yeah, like don't be like it's so interesting, yeah, when with the disciples in situation, because do you know there was a character from Power that played Power in Wu-Tang the American Saga? That sounded like a tongue twister. No diddy. There was a character from Power that played Power. Like, I'm gonna say this again. There was a character in the original Power series that played a character named Power in Wu-Tang American Saga. That sounds such like a mouthful to say, because it sounds insane, but it's actually facts. There's a character in Power that person played. I'm talking about the original series, by the way. He played a person called Power in the Wu-Tang American Saga series. He played the character named Power. Do you know how insane that is? And what is the Wu-Tang American Saga about? It's about Wu-Tang. There you go. And now we're getting I don't want to say, I don't want to disrespect it because I like the sound, but like, get me? If you know, you know. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang's for everyone.
Now Rock wants Marvin to handle all of this or whatever as far as this Terry thing, but she does not want him to do too much because they still need him. They still need to move this weight, so they cannot afford for him to get dropped off. Once she said that, we knew what time it was. Hell, when we saw that, episode 5 trailer, we knew Marvin was dropping off somebody, and that somebody later on in the episode was your boy Terry. Now Kanan and Jukebox, they go and see Famous's mom, and they're telling her they're just as worried as her when it comes to Famous. They don't know where he is. We know Detective Garcia, he was trying to make it seem like Kanan knew more, and maybe this is Kanan's fault, which is not the case. He didn't know anything. Now Kanan and Jukebox, they had to leave because they heard some bad news from Grandma. Now we get to Unique. He pops up on Phil Russo. We know Teresa, she put in the word for him, and now he has another chance to work with the Italians. And as I was telling you guys last night in that exclusive clip breakdown, this guy right here that Unique is face to face with is the same guy that shot Marvin in the season 2 finale. He worked very closely with Sabo Selly.
And we know what's happened. We potentially know what's going to happen with Marvin, which is sad. And that's going to turn the Jukebox into a super monster. If Kanan's a monster, as we know Jukebox is a super monster.
So he's laughing and everything. Y'all know he don't like Unique anyway. And as Phil Russo said, the only reason we ain't taking you out is because of Teresa. And Unique pretty much has to prove himself. He doesn't really want to work with Unique right now because of the past. Unique does tell him that he is sorry and that Sabo Selly was right about, the conversations that they had about Rock. And he's telling him, look, we have a common enemy. We need to take her down. But as I told you,
an enemy, what's it? How does that saying go? An enemy of an enemy. An enemy is an enemy is a friend indeed, or something like that. But anyway.
Phil Russo, he ain't stupid. He knows that. And he understands that this whole rumor about Rock trying to take down Unique is false. and Unique was pretty much pissed off, talking about, I know who tried to take me out. Well, yes, you know Ronnie tried to take you out, but Rock had nothing to do with
That's
it.
what I mean.
Now, as I told
And
you, we know Phil Russo does not want.
And he saw what happened. Well, he didn't see exactly what happened, but he knows the final result of what happened to Ronnie. You know what I mean? So why is he going on this rampage? Because obviously he wants to make money. That's two. That's one. Then two, obviously, it's like, listen, this is all he. It's not all he knows, but this is what he knows. So he's gonna just continue on with that. But like I said, I still believe this is Breeze. Unique is Breeze. It's not a unique theory, but Unique is Breeze. I know I got the famous situation one wrong so far, and I still could be right. But do you know what I mean? Because as Unique once said, if the body don't show up, that means they're still talking. If they're still talking, what's it? If the body don't show up, that means they're still breathing. If they're still breathing, that means they're still talking. Get me? That's yeah. And I get it. Like the body did show up, but we never saw it to be the same way. We never saw the casket when it came to Ghost. So yeah.
I want anything to do with Unique right now, telling him he needs to come back when he has his whole game plan and everything together. And Unique, he was pissed off. That boy gonna cry in the car, because that's exactly what it was looking like. I mean, he was so mad. But we know in the next episode, Unique, he's gonna show us.
Man was crying in the car, you know.
Face. He's gonna have on his old outfit. He is really gonna feel like he is finally back. Now we get to Imani and Lulu, and this time she is pretty much going straight to the point. She ain't playing around. She pretty much tells him, look, you can come on over. Know what I'm saying? She is trying to get those cheeks clapped. Forget music. She ain't playing around. Now Lulu, you can tell he wants to, but of course he gets the page about his mom, so he got to get the hell up out of there to make sure that she's okay. Now we get to your boy Quan, and once again, I mean, look at this guy. He's always pissed off, but now we get more of a reasoning why he's so upset with Rock all the time. He does not like how she just came in and took over Unique's operation. Unique, that was his boy. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't feel like Rock is a very, honest and loyal person. And he feels like Rock has moved entirely too quick after Unique's alleged death, and he ain't feeling that. On top of that, Rock still has not paid him that 20% increase, and he's pissed. Like, really? So you're not going to pay me what we, agreed to? Rock tells him, I never agreed. And it is what it is. But after this whole conversation, Quan tells her, we ain't doing business no more. So now Rock has to go and figure out what she's going to do. We know she's going to go and meet up with that Agent Connect that she got from your boy Tremont. But I did find it very funny in this scene when Quan told Rock that he met with her son. And he told her that he hopes that she's a better mother than she is at business. So he is, trying to.
How can he talk to her like that? This is what I predict, yeah. This is just a prediction. In episode 8, get me. In episode 8, something's gonna happen to him. I could be wrong, but we know many bodies get dropped in episode 8. I believe he's gonna be one of them.
Let's take these shots at Rock. The crazy thing is, we know Unique does meet up with him. Now, could you imagine Unique, Quan, and then all of a sudden Kanan in the mix? That would be a crazy team. Now, I don't know if you're going to see that, but I feel like they're throwing those little clues out there that maybe something like that could happen by the end of the season. Now, we get to Kanan and Jukebox. They go to Grandma's house. She has fallen down and she can't get up. They take her to the hospital, and we know Lulu.
I shouldn't be laughing. No, wait. I shouldn't be laughing. It's just the way he said it. It's just the way he said it. Because I'm pretty sure there's a song or something I'm thinking of. I can't remember it, but it's anyway. Let me just carry on. That shouldn't be funny because it's obviously I know it's TV, but things like that do happen in real life. Do you know what I mean? Let me not laugh. You know what I mean?
Who does pop up, but Lulu is not trying to take care of his mom's 24/7. She's going to need special care in her last days. Now Marvin does pop up, and everything seemed cool at first, and then all of a sudden Grandma start talking about morphine, right? And talking about how she wants to go to sleep.
Demerol. Oh God, they're taking Demerol. Ooh, if you know, you know, you know, you know. Michael Jackson. They're taking morphine. I listen. If you know, you know. Sorry, that's the first thing that came to mind. If you know, you know.
And she don't want to wake back up. And she's pretty much telling Marvin, how about you help me do that? Because she bought some extra off one of the nurses. Where that nurse at? Where is that nurse at? She in there making some deals. Like, really?
In it, for now, for real. Listen, I know America is a wild place when it comes to the healthcare system, but I reckon they need to fix that, because at the end of the day, health is important. And at the end of the day, yes, you know, drugs do cost money to make and all that stuff there, and I understand it, and I understand insurance, health insurance. Well, I understand it, but the thing is, it creates an environment where, you know, some healthcare professionals could make a side deal that could actually affect the patient in a negative way. Sounds mad, sounds crazy, but America is a crazy place. We know this. Anyway, but there are some other places in the world that are crazy. Don't get that twisted. But context of America, don't get it twisted. So if you're from America and you were offended, I apologize. All right, I ain't trying to offend no one. I'm just, reacting.
And out of all of the people, I don't want Marvin to have to deal with this, y'all. I'm like, really? Marvin has already been through so much this season with all the mistakes that he's making, and now his mom wants to, get him to take her out to help her in her life. Hell nah, ain't no way in the hell I can see that happening. And Marvin, he don't really want to do it, but it's like, man, I don't want my mom's going through this pain and suffering. It's very difficult for him to do, but ain't no way in the hell I'm doing that. She gonna have to do that herself. Now I can see if she was unconscious in a coma or something, and she's been out of commission for a while, and her condition is getting worse, and as a family member, you have to make that decision. But for Marvin to be the one to actually inject this, man, that's tough, y'all. Very tough. Y'all let me know what y'all would do. Now Rock is losing her patience. Since the whole thing with Quan did not go as planned, she has to make this deal with Hafiz. And he's like, look, I told you I will come to you when I'm ready. But Rock, she's like, man, screw all that. We need to make this deal. Now he tells her, in order for them to make this deal, he needs to meet up with all her partners first, because he does not want any issues with territory and stuff like that. Pretty much, he don't want bloodshed. He don't want war. And I'm going to tell you right now, Rock, she was probably upset, like, damn. The last thing that I wanted to do was bring them up in here. I don't want them messing nothing up for me. And she feels like this could be a threat. So I cannot wait to see this meeting. It's going to be crazy. Now we get to Unique in OC. He pulls up on OC and all the theories about
this thing was hilarious, yeah. I was OC telling him about his allergies. Like, really? So you're telling me the first time you meet Unique, the first time you meet him, the gun is in your... Sorry, careful the words. The blam is in his face. Do you know what I mean? And it's like... Sorry, do you know what I mean? Like, he threatened him to the point where he becomes a go-to person to speak about situation clearly, because obviously Unique been dropping off people like that, like flies. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go.
His character were true. This man cut a deal. Unique got that boy shaking, getting intel from him about Rock, her organization, and then tells Unique that Kanan is cutting off the top. You know what I'm saying? He's taking money off the top of everything, and y'all know Rock gonna be upset about that. But regardless, Unique is like, well, it ain't really stealing because that's his mom's. Yeah. And that's what Kanan is thinking. You know what I'm saying? He's already pretty much said this in earlier seasons, right? But still, OC, come on. You cannot be trusted. OC, I'm sorry, man. You got to go. You got to get dropped off. I mean, you always shaky. Your allergies be going crazy when you get nervous and question. Look, we ain't got time for all that. And we know when Kanan finds out, he gonna be very upset. But all Unique is doing is gathering this information, plotting and planning his next move. And since Kanan is taking off the top, he understands that maybe it's some friction in the air between Rock and Kanan. And maybe in the future, is it a chance that Unique may try to have that conversation with Kanan? I mean,
and that's why, again, this leads me to believe Unique is Breeze. That there's a reason why Kanan was working with Ronnie. You would never have expected it, but it happened. There's a reason why there was a scene similar when Unique popped up and then Crystal was scared. You know what I mean? There's a reason, like, that, and because that was parallel to Ronnie. Like, there's so many different. If this is why I recommend, yeah, if you are a true Power fan, watch the original Power series, every spin-off, yeah, every episode, like literally every episode. The clues are literally within certain episodes of what's going to happen for the character development of particular characters. Like for example, you could tell, for example, Kanan was going to turn into a monster from the first episode because of the whole situation. That was literally from the first season, first episode. We knew that, right? Cool. But he was still messing up, but he had to find himself and find ways. You could tell that. Do you know what I mean? And now he's coming, he's growing, he's learning, he's made a few mistakes still. But there's something you need to understand about, like, script writing. Yeah, one thing when it comes to script writing is knowing how to, when you develop one character, and you got to remember, Unique and Ronnie are brothers, so they're gonna have similarities in some sort of way. If that makes sense. But anyway, I won't talk too much. I'll just keep it moving. But yeah, that's just my thoughts.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We gonna see.
Now,
Pernissa decides.
He said it. I said it. I know. What was it? An enemy of my enemy is my friend. But he said that in Unique said that to that Italian guy.
Tried to have that conversation with Kanan. I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
We gonna see. Now Pernissa decides that this is the best move to pop up at Rock's house at night, talking about, did you give me this money or whatever, and telling her she's feeling bad for what she did to Unique. Like, really? Rock did not do anything to Unique, for one. For two, you could have got dropped off for coming here at night, running your mouth. Like, come on. And you need to be happy somebody want to give you some money in the first place. But nobody gets it. But they will get it in the next episode when Unique reveals himself. They're going to be real shook when that happens. Now, we get to Terry. This time, Terry, he is running his mouth, telling Marvin he don't care what he does as far as, exposing him to his wife. And Terry, he's big and bad now, talking about, I'm going to go to the police and all that stuff. Really? Well, Terry, I'm sorry. You got to go. And that's exactly what Marvin...
Why are you telling a gangster you're going to go tell the police? I'm going to tell the police. I don't care about what the police... I don't care. Why are you doing that, bruv? You know you're going to get dropped off, bruv. You ain't going to have a chance to get to the police. Did he not see what happened to his nephew? Was it his nephew or was that the other one? No, the other one, because they got... Yeah. No. It was him, right? I can't remember. And let's go.
Marvin did. He dropped him off. Now, of course, Marvin did move off emotion. Now, if you guys were in Marvin's shoes, what would you have done? What you going to do? Tie Terry up and beat him to death?
That weren't emotions. And this is why if something did happen to Famous, that's why I do believe some people think Marvin heard the music and said, you know what? Famous got to go. But then at the same time, I don't think he would put him under the mattress like that. That's something Ronnie would do. You know what I mean?
To death and continue to try to run the business somehow, some way. I mean, Terry is a liability. Once he said he's going to go and tell, that's a problem. And I guess he still has a brother, David. That junkie, I guess he can run the operations, which That's a big risk, right? Barack gonna be upset with that one. Now, we get to Lulu and Imani, and he finally claps those cheeks. And Imani, she is feeling your boy Lulu, asking him questions about Jessica. I'm like, really? I understand you like him and everything, but y'all ain't about to get married. So just get clapped up and call it a day. It's not that serious, but she's getting real connected to Lulu, getting very attached already. Like, man. So Lulu needs to watch himself around her because, man, this girl ain't playing around. And Lulu most likely is going to get back into the game. And if that is the case, Imani being around him is a very high risk. That girl, she can end up getting dropped off just like that. But at least she gets to enjoy round 2. Now, this part of the episode is funny because a lot of
what he forgot to mention was Imani did some research or background checks on Uncle Lulu, and the problem with that is he's like, if there's any issues you want to find out about me, you come to me, which is facts. Like, why are you digging around asking X, Y? Like, he's like, because they can give you wrong information. You know what I mean? And obviously, with him being in a game like that, obviously he doesn't want her to know that information because, you know what I mean? Because you don't know if she might tell. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is the part where they think this is Ghost, aka James St. Patrick, which, when you come to think about it, that isn't his real name, is it? According to Power Book 2. But anyway, if you know, you know.
A lot of fans was actually talking about they thought this was young Ghost. He was in there stealing some liquor. Fans talking about how, y'all know Ghost's dad was a damn drunk. Ghost is a drunk. He's probably drinking early. Man, this ain't no damn Ghost. Now, the actor...
Exactly. That's not no damn Ghost, all right? It's not Casper out here. I mean, this not Ghost. Like, I get it. He had more screen time. Like, I understand it. Why people would say it. Like, it kind of makes sense because it's like, why are you showing more of this kid? Like, what's the purpose? The whole point was to show the scene. It's like, it's a build-up. It's a build-up to the scene of seeing the streets need a body. Like, Famous's body in the streets, ironically. They're foul for that, by the way.
The actor that plays him is Casey Cameron, and he's been posting on his page for a while now, talking about this moment, talking about this character that we're going to see. And it's the same kid that we saw in that official trailer running.
That's cold.
Now, he ends up stealing some liquor, the bodega.
That's cold. He must have been proud of himself still. Like, because it's that moment. You just never know where that one moment could take you. Do you know what I mean? Like, think about it. The scene in the original Power series, like, remember, Braden was only meant to be one character. One character. He meant to be there for like one episode. Like, he ended up being for a few more episodes. Then he ended up being a reoccurring actor in most of reoccurring character to the point he ended up being in Power Book 2. You know what I mean? Get me? And he's like one of and now people call him the young Tommy. Do you know what I mean? So you just never know where a character can go in particular shows, like, especially if they're young actors as well, man. So it's good. It's good to see. Especially in this day and age where you can post it on social media, and do you know what I mean? Like, casting directors could see that clip there and to see how he held his own in the show in that particular scene. Like, because he held it down well. Because it makes sense to why they want to say. It makes sense to why they want to say he's give me a second. It makes sense. Let me quickly do this real quick.
The owner ends up chasing him. The dude was limping and he still caught up with this guy. Like, really? You let him catch up with you? Now they go inside this abandoned building, and then we see the bed, we see the hand. We already know what time it is. It's your boy Famous. And the bodega owner, he stops. The kid stops as well. They're just looking. They're in shock. Now we see Famous's mom. She comes in to confirm that is her son. And this was a very sad scene to see, because just seeing that backstory, we know Famous, he was a good kid. You know what I'm saying? He was a goofy kid or whatever, but he loved his family. His mom loved him, and he'd been through a lot. And I know Jessica, she's going to be hurt as well. I mean, that was her little brother. He loved his sister. Y'all know Famous was crying when Jessica left and went to California. He was trying to act like he was okay, but he was sad that his sister was leaving. And I know deep down inside, Jessica's going to be like, man, I left him and look what happened to him. So I cannot wait to see her reaction when she finds out the news. Now we get to Marvin and his mom's. She comes back home and Marvin has the opportunity to do what she wanted him to do. And that is take her out, inject that morphine in her system, but he couldn't do it.
It's just that scene. Marvin said he's upset. Marvin's not upset. Marvin said he's sorry. Marvin said he's sorry. Like, can she allow it? Like, are you telling your son to do such an act, man? Allow it, man.
I don't blame him at all. Now she's pissed off, telling Marvin that he is sorry. She just kept saying it over and over and over. And I'm thinking like, man, yo damn
Marvin said he's sorry. Oh, that's funny.
Hands ain't broke. Take that needle, take that morphine and do it your damn self, because I ain't doing it. I mean, if you really want to go to sleep, take yourself to sleep. But I know she's probably like, I can't do that to myself, but you want your son to do it? So we know Grandma Thomas ain't all right in the head. She all screwed up. It's the reason why her kids are the way they are. It's the reason why her and Rock does not have the best relationship. And it's the reason why Marvin and her and Lulu don't have the best relationship. But we know her time is coming. Marvin, it was tough. You almost did it. But of course you came to your senses. You didn't do it, and that is good, because Marvin, he's dealing with too much as it is. Now, we get to your boy Unique, and now it is time to show his face. At least to Quan, that is. And I'm going to tell you right now, Quan, he was happy as hell. His boy is back. I mean, look at him. It's the first time we see that boy smirk since him and Unique had a conversation last season.
For real. It's the first time we see him smile. Aye.
And now it's time to plot and plan on their game plan to take over everything. Y'all know Rock gonna be upset knowing that Quan is teaming up with Unique. And it will be even crazier if Kanan joins the team as well. Now, we get to the end of the episode. We see Famous's mom. She's on the bus, and she's reminiscing about the time that Famous came back home. Now, the scene that they're showing us is from Season 3, Episode 7. It's when Famous comes back home, and him and his mom, they make up.
It's her fault. It literally is her fault. She found a WAP, not Cardi B's type of WAP. Don't get that twisted. She found a blam, and it's like, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously, she's a responsible adult, so we can understand the perspective, right? But it technically is her fault. She wanted her son to turn himself in. Even though he said, I did something bad that I can never take back. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like if that never happened, who knows what could have happened? I mean, I'm not saying that there won't be consequences to what's happened to Famous, because even in the beginning, what the first episode in Season 1, what did at the end? Was it towards the end? The last scene, Rock told Kanan that bullet out there will come back. Sorry, that thing will come up. That it's hard to say what certain words, but you know what I'm talking about. That's it. That what's the word I can use for it? That thing out there, it's circling. Well, it's out there, and it's out there with your name on it. Basically, in other words, your time will. Get me. Basically, karma, in it. Basically, in a nutshell. That's why I should have said that shell, because it still makes sense. You know what I'm talking about now.
Up, and this is where he tells his moms that he's been involved in all types of crazy things. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I know his mom, she has to feel some type of way, because she's the one that turned in that gun in the first place.
Facts.
That created this whole storyline.
And even before that, she's the one that kicked him out, because he was being a young man, do you know what I mean, or growing into a young man, that, do you know what I mean? Like, I get she may not have wanted those women in the house like that, and him smoking weed in the house like that. Smoke, like, I get it, I understand it. You got to respect the household, but at the end of the day, I feel that she could have managed that a lot better. Do you know what I mean? So it's her fault.
As far as, Famous being brought in and questioned about Freddie's murder, but I did not want to see it get played out like this. Now, at the end of the episode, we know Kanan, he gets the phone call about his best friend, Famous, and he learns that he has died, and he's pissed off. He's upset. The fans, they upset as well. I mean, this is a very sad scene. Your boy 50 Cent, he's pretty much telling us that he is sad, he's pissed off.
I'm sad.
He doesn't have any advice for this moment or whatever, but we only get one best friend in life, right? So for him to lose his best friend, that's going to get to him. It's the reason why his son was named Sean. And I'm going to tell you right now, when Kanan finds out who did this, he is going to raise hell. Y'all already saw what happened to D-Wiz. Y'all saw how pissed off he was when he found out who was behind it, right? So as I told you guys weeks ago, when I talked about these theories about Famous and his character, you had people saying that I was reaching, that these theories don't make sense. But as I told you guys, it's seeming like each and every day these theories are seeming like they're going to come true. Now, I don't know if Rock or Marvin had anything to do with it or not. As I told you, we know that promo, they showed us a guy that resembles Marvin. It is blurry, but they show us a gun getting pointed to a guy that resembles Famous.
Oh, yeah.
Now, could that be Marvin? Could it be somebody else? I did see some of you guys talk about y'all thought it was Unique or whatever. Some say it's not even Famous in that promo anyway. At the end of the day, these are just theories. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Marvin and Rock had anything to do with it, it will be the final straw for Kanan. The D-Wiz thing was one thing. The stuff that happened to Scrappy was another thing. But to take out his best friend without telling him, or at least letting him know that Famous is doing something that they don't like or whatever. I mean, all the details are not there. But if they did this, Kanan is going to finally flip the script for real. And as I told you, it's going to cause a family war. But shout out to Antonio Ortiz, the guy that plays Famous's character. He did an excellent job playing his role. Hopefully we can see him in more things. I hope, if anything happened behind the scenes, hopefully it can be repaired or whatever. And this guy can continue to work because he's very talented. And I know we don't like seeing off-screen deaths. We don't know all the details about this particular storyline as far as how they're going to reveal what really happened to him. But sometimes things do happen behind the scenes, and they got to make a decision. They got to do what they...
Maybe nothing happened behind the scenes. Maybe this just happened for the storyline, and it kind of makes sense because you need that level of mystery, that level of curiosity to wonder what happened to this character. Like, why did it happen? How did it happen? Like, it gets you questioning. But when you can question what happened to a particular character and how, do you know what I mean? And there's always been a mysterious vibe about certain characters and what happened. You know what I mean? Let's go.
What they got to do in order to continue that story. I mean, I know it's going to be people that's not going to agree, but regardless of how they would have done it, it's going to be people that's always going to complain. So you can never please everybody. At the end of the day, I just want to know who did this. And, hopefully your boy Antonio Ortiz can have future work and other stuff. Now, I want you guys to leave your theories, predictions, leave it all down below. Y'all let me know, what do you think about episode 5? What you think is going to happen next? Because it's about to turn up. Y'all know this story just hit a switch. And it's really going to hit a switch when Kanan finds out who did this. Now, I'll catch you guys over the weekend for the episode 6 What to Expect video. So stay tuned for that. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support. And I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.
All right, let's I must react to this another day. I'll react to that another day as well. listen, I've been on this stream for way too long, longer than expected. But anyway, let's see what people saying in the comments real quick. Jukebox smiled and basically told Marvin, "Be straight. If you know, you know." Uncle Marvin and that. Be straight K, yo. I like how emotional 50 Cent was while narrating. That told me genuinely cared for Famous. I mean, I just knew when they started showing Famous backstory that he was gone. Yeah, that usually is the case. When they show backstories, that person's unfortunately, yeah. Anyway, now we need to get the real 411 on what happened. Happened to Kanan. Sorry, happened to Famous and why. But Kanan is going to flip, and if it is to do with his mom or Stefano, well, we know what happened. We know what happened with his own son. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what your favorite scene of Power book Raising Kanan episode or season 4, episode 4. No, episode 5 even. Let me know what your favorite scene was. But yeah, man, what's the 411? What's the 411? What's the 411? The 411 is we just found out what happened to Famous or Puerto Rican Famous, aka Fame. Man, sad, man. Because he was one of my favorite characters. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of my favorite characters. Like, I don't know what's worse. Either his situation or Rainer. I don't know what's worse. Probably Rainer, because Rainer was more super innocent. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But Famous, man. This is one of those moments, yeah, where we look back and be like, yo, it's good story writing. It's good script writing. You cannot dispute that. But anyway, what's the 411? What's the 411? I'm going to be up out of here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you share if you haven't already. If you have already shared, share again. Again, me sharing is caring. Like, leave a comment or comments below. But yeah, man. Yeah.